Hi, my name is Mani, and in this video I would like to personally offer you some deeper information about the upcoming therapeutic erotic dance and shadow work for women facilitator training that I am giving in March next year in Thailand, Koh Phangan. I'm so excited about offering this training because it is a beautiful creative process for me, combining my experience in dance, embodiment, psychotherapy and tantra, and creating a 4-week program for women to delve deep into themselves. The program has been designed for women who are interested in facilitating transformational women's groups, but also just as a 4-week transformational program. So if you have no interest or you're not sure yet if your calling is to hold space and run women's groups, you are also able to just join the process for your own personal experience in delving deep into removing the barriers and obstacles in your life that are inhibiting you from accessing your true authentic expression. So the training is exactly for this purpose. It is exactly for you to go on your own journey of breaking down the walls of separation within yourself, removing the conditioning and the negative belief system, the patterns that we hold in our life, the woundings that we are unconsciously carrying that are telling us we are not good enough, are creating the beliefs within us that we have a fear of rejection, the need for this constant seeking of validation and approval. And we are going in a process in how to feel safe enough to let go of that need, especially the need of seeking approval and validation. So the work that is necessary to go on this journey is a lot of personal and inner work. When we are guiding others into a deep transformational process, we really must be speaking and facilitating and holding space from a place of authenticity. The transmission of your teachings, in my perspective, must come from yourself and not coming from a textbook that you have read or just regurgitating information. Because when you can inspire women to go deep on their journey of removing the layers, and you're a living example or willing to be a living example of this process, it can deepen other women's process so much more. So this journey is going into a 4-week process of the psyche, our psychology. So looking at, as I've already mentioned, the belief systems, the barriers, the blocks, the conditioning that are basically inhibiting us from being authentic. What do I mean by being authentic? Basically not giving a fuck when anyone thinks about you. And this isn't in terms of the disrespectful, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me, but I'm going to be myself and I am not going to stop at anything less than my truth. Now, this is something that a lot of us, men and women, fear in our life because we are holding these beliefs in our head that we are not good enough. So we want to basically transform this belief for you and allow you to step into a space where you are empowered within yourself, where you have self-love and self-acceptance, and in turn be able to inspire others to have self-love and self-acceptance. Now, these words, self-love and self-acceptance, they're thrown around a lot, and I really want you to have an experience in this program of what those principles truly mean for you. So it is going on an individual journey because everyone has their own story, but it is also collectively going on a journey with 12 other women and the 4 facilitators, including myself, of moving into a space of truth and how to speak and share your truth and, as I've said, inspire others to go into their own truth. Now, this program is for anyone, any woman, any age, any background. So I've had women from 18 years old to 72-year-old joining my work, and this has been creating radical change, I humbly say, on every dimension of feminine embodiment for any women. And this is what we want to inspire in others, is how to come into a space of love and then be able to transform constantly the darkness that we have inside of ourselves into a state of presence and love. The program is based on this aspect of embodiment and presence. But what we need to do is start to remove the obstacles that are not allowing us to come into a state of presence and embodiment in each moment, and speak and live our truth from each moment. So the first week, as I've said, is focused on the psychology, and the second week is then going more into the body and how to inhabit our body, how to live in our body. We are so stuck in our mind that we are completely disconnected from this area of our being. So the second week is going deep into embodiment, deep into practicing presence, deep into releasing stored emotion in our body, deep into listening to our body and expressing movement from this place of inside our being, rather than here, rather than trying to express and dance to impress somebody or to look good. We come from a place of fucking freedom of expression and authentic movement. And this is where we can start to tap more into the inner landscapes of our being. We start to tap into more of our authentic creativity, combining the principles of Tantra and tantric femininity, of connecting to our sexual energy, connecting to our orgasmic power, and how we can start to fuel our feminine juice through our sexual energy as a source of creativity. Then from this space, we will go more into shamanism, connecting with nature, understanding femininity through nature, femininity in its different dimensions and expression, because there is not one expression of feminine. So we are going to break down the conditioning of what femininity is to you, because again, everyone has their own idea of what femininity is. But there's also the general mainstream idea of what feminine is. So when we connect to the nature and we connect to the elements through shamanic practices, we can start to connect more into the natural state of our own authentic feminine expression. And the tools that you'll be receiving, again, is for you to be able to facilitate other women to go through the same processes of exploration within themselves. And I'm repeating myself again and again, but it's about breaking down the conditioned ideas that we have in our mind that are influenced from outside of how we should be as a woman, how we should be as a human being. So coming into a natural state of presence, a natural state of silence, a natural state of expression, and joining a group of women who are going on the same journey will be such a deeply profound and transformational experience for your nervous system, for your body, for your psychology, for your being, for your breath. And start to move into a space of just love of the self in whatever expression that is, in any moment that comes. And stop trying to put ourselves in a little box of safety. Then the fourth week is going into more of the facilitation skills, how to hold space for others, how to create workshops, and going into a process of you being able to develop your own creativity and finding out what your unique gift is in holding women's circles. And again, for those women who aren't interested in facilitating, this will also be a process of practicing presence, practicing communication, practicing listening, practicing how to hold space. And from this place, you will walk out with such a vast toolkit of empowering others to love themselves and accept themselves. Now, also, this work isn't limited to just women. You can also take this work and create any kinds of workshops that you desire for men and women. The work that I'm doing is for human beings. So I just like to work with women because I find that the wounding within the feminine is so strong. And also the competition that women hold towards other women, the judgment, the threat, the feeling of inferiority that women may feel around empowered women, I really want to create a space where women can let go of that fear of feeling threatened by other women and start to heal the relationship with women as well. So this is why we will also be going into erotic embodiment as a major part of this training, because the eroticism and the sexuality that women hold, again, they usually feel quite threatened by other women, and we want to be able to see that this is something sacred, that this is something perfectly natural that women should celebrate in each other and not pull down or feel threatened by. So the shadow work on the shadow side of femininity will be running throughout the entire program. And this word shadow, it seems a little bit dark, but the shadow just means the parts of ourselves that we don't accept and reject. That also does mean the parts of ourselves that we don't like, but in order to transform the dark, this allows us to move into the light and then offer an authentic transmission for other women to also accept these parts of themselves. So the training is going to be an incredibly powerful experience. You're not walking out with a specific product that you will teach, but you are walking out with an entire toolkit of processes through embodiment, dance, and shamanic practices, therapeutic dance, and psychological practices that you can take women through to come into a space of freedom. Just pure freedom of expression, pure freedom of love, pure freedom of the self. So the point of this message is come to Thailand, come to Koh Phangan, come and spend time with 12 amazing women and 4 incredible facilitators who will take you on a journey into self-love, into a revelation that will put you into a space of put you into a space of yourself that is so special and so unique and so rare to walk into. And I hope that you will join us on this journey.